welcome back. Unless you are new, then welcome. Here on the channel I talk a little bit about the Mantic games, different tabletop game systems like Epic Warpath. We have already a few videos here on the channel, and in the future also Firefight and Kings of War. But at the moment we will continue with our Epic Warpath, and what I will do today is the first army list building. For this I'm here in the Mantic Companion App. I will also have the link in the video description. On this page or web application you can build your army list for the different Mantic games. For example, you can see here Kings of War and also Firefight and Epic Warpath. And what we need here is the Epic Warpath list builder. As we can see here, I don't have any lists at the moment, but we will change this in a few minutes. Before I will start, I will continue, or I will show you the graphic how you build a list in Epic Warpath, so you have a visual view of this, because you need, as you can see here, you need at minimum 1 HQ unit and a minimum of 2 troops, and then you can add on, for example, specialist, support and super heavy units, as we can see here. As you can see, when we have one for each troop unit, we can add 1 specialist unit, and for each combination of 2 troops or specialist units, we can add 1 support unit, and for 1 support unit we can add 1 super heavy unit, to a maximum of only 1 super heavies. And what we can also see on the bottom left corner, or in the bottom left corner, is the transport. We can add transport units to several unit types, so this will not be limited by anything of this, only to the units taken before. And with this overview now on how we build a list in Epic Warpath, we will start with our first army list. Army lists for the games we love, we like, but especially now for Epic Warpath, there are not many content for this, and also no tournaments, or not so much tournaments at the moment. So we have to start at one point. And what I will do here is we start out with the content of the core army pack, because this is what I have already shown here on the channel and what is for the most of us easier available. And we have here a lot of stuff, as I have already mentioned in another video. We can easily build here a 2000 to 3000 point army. And here we have the content of this box, and this is the starting point for the first army list, where I will try to build one, because I have taken a look on the army list in the book and played a little bit around, but have not started to build my own army list that I will play, or I'm interested to play. So I thought we will do this together here, and maybe you will find some ideas for you, what you want to play for yourself. So for this I would say we go here with to create new list, because we can here add a point limit, 1000 points for the start. But we will also start with a bigger army list, because I will try something in a moment. Forge Fathers as faction and create army list. So here we have the army list now, what units are available. And before I will build now our first company, I will switch back for a moment on the graphics I showed you before, because what I not have mentioned is the company structure. We have in general spoken about the company structure, yes, but we can add several companies to one army list. So if, for example, if we have our first company with minimum 1 HQ and 2 to 4 troop units and some other units, for example, and we have maybe already taken all 4 specialist slots we have. Then we can start, if we have point available for our play size, we can add a second company and have also to start out with 1 HQ and 2 troop units, and can then add on in this way more specialist units to our army list. This I have forgotten in the first place when I showed you the company structure graphic. But now I would say let's start with our first army list. What I will do here, I will start out with the Huskarls, because here are 12 command units mentioned on the description, but what you can see here for the 6 HQ bases, these are all Huskarls, it seems. And I think when we start out with the game, especially now when the game is very new to all of us, it is okay to play around with the list, and so we can also proxy some units if we have a unit that can represent this unit type. So for example, we have here the Huskarl, but maybe you will take in bigger games a Forge Lord because of the tactical die in green. So what I do here, I will start with our first company with a Huskarl and with 2 Steel Warrior units, because this brings us to the minimum units we need and is a valid list now, but also because we have here 72 Steel Warrior units, and as we can see here on the picture, this is a lot of units on the top that we can play around. So I think for holding some markers to win the game for us, this is a good start, I would say. And now what I will do is I will add some more units on with some ideas in mind. So for example, I would add a Torgarim unit, because we see this here on the bottom right side. We have 6 bases of them, so we will add a Torgarim unit. We can see here 6 bases are what one unit is made out of. So I will add one of these units, and I will give them immediately a tracker APC. These are 3 vehicles and have a capacity of 2, so all 6 of our bases can be transported with this one unit. This brings us here to 605 points, so a very good start. But what we maybe also need here is some more shooting. So I will have the Sternhammer battle tank, because my idea is we can here see we have 18 tanks in the core arm pack and all build the same unit type, so we can play around. And if you don't put the weapons on the top, you can also play 18 transports. So we have already used 6 of the tanks for transport, and now I will add a shooting unit, Sternhammer battle tanks, 3 units, also 3 tanks in 1 unit. We will add this here, so we have a little bit of combination of fighting in melee with the Torgarim, and bring them with the Tracker APCs into the battle. And also for heavy support we have the Sternhammer battle tanks and our 2 Steel Warrior units and the Huskarl. These are 780 points. But what will we do now? Let's see on the picture. Maybe we will need more infantry units, I would say. So let's go for the Forge Guard here. We have 2 bases of Forge Guard. So we can play around with a maximum of 2 of these units. So I can add, here's the Forge Guard. The Forge Guard unit also has 6 bases, so we will add 1 of this. And now we can see, and this is the problem we have now, the Forge Guard is very expensive, I see. 6 bases for 225 points. And also we have too much specialist units, because when we take a look again on the company structure, we see we have only 2 troop units and already 1 support and 2 specialist units, what is not possible. So we have to add now more troops to our list. But what I see, the Torgarim are also troops. So we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, I now see. I should read the text here. We have no points, so our list is valid, but we have exceeded the points. This is okay for the moment, but what we can see here, we have here a small army with 1000 points, or we tried to build an army, but as I mentioned before at the start of the video, we will build a bigger one, because I will try here what we can do with the list. And what we see with a Huskar, 2 Steel Warrior units, a Torgarim unit with transports, a Forge Guard unit, and a Sternhammer Battle Tank unit, we have already the 1000 points full and also exceeded. So this is not a valid 1000 point list. So in this case we have a little bit work to do to play around. And so I would say from this starting point, let's try what we can do maybe with 2000 points. I will let here the 1000 points, so this list invalid is not from interest now at the moment for us, but let's try what we can do for 2000 points with this what we have at the moment. I would say we add a second commander in this case. So we start here a second company with a Forge Lord, and we need now 2 more troop units. What I think I will do here is I will add a Recce unit, because these are with Dragon Flamers, so they bring not much range, but ignores cover and pinning, and can hold maybe a objective point for us. So we add this to the second company. And what I also will do, I will delete the transport and also the Torgarim and move them also to our second company. So we will have them still in our army list, but in the second company now. What this brings us is now a still valid list with 1230 points, but invalid here because of the exceeded point limit, but this is okay, as I already mentioned. But what we can now do is to specialize a little bit more on our different companies. So we have the first one with the Huskar with 2 Steel Warrior units, with 1 Forge Guard unit, a Sternhammer Battle Tank unit, and the second company is the better in my case, I think so, Forge Lord, because of the tactical green die, a Torgarim unit with transport and the Recce unit. And what I will do here, because this should be a list where we can take on different enemies, I will also add here a second Tracker APC unit for the Recce's, so we can maybe bring them forward with the Torgarim or let them behind on our objective marker, for example. This brings us, okay, we have around 680 points left. So what we can do, I would say let's add to our first company, we have here the second company commander, we have, okay, we can here, let's say the Iron Ancestors, because we have here 6 of them. We can try to add 1 unit of them. These are 3 models. Also they have the twin Hailstorm autocannon and also the Forge Hammer, so they're a little bit for melee, so we can take them forward. This is why I put them in this second company. But what we already can see here with this army list, it is very hard to build an army. We had the 1000 point list was exceeded by 5 points, and here with 1500 points are already exceeded, here in this case by 20 points. So I think it is maybe not that easy to build an army in Epic Warpath. Then I thought this would be more an easier way when we click here around with the units are available to us. So what can we do here now to finish up the list? We have here 6 tracker units, transport, and 3 sternhammer. So we have 9, so the half of from our 18 available tanks are used now. So what can we do here? I think we need maybe for our Forge Guard also transports. We have, so let's switch to company 1 and add some more tracker APCs. We are still in a valid list. We only have exceeded the point limit, but this is okay. And what can we do now? We have here some Steel Warrior, Forge Guard, Sternhammer. Well, the list looks kind of okay-ish for a not really a concept, I think. So what can we do? What have we also here? We have Steel Warriors, we have Rekiers, Stormguard Veterans. Okay, these are maybe the same as these units. No separate bases I can see here on the picture. Torgarims, we have Forge Guard, Halter half tracks. Maybe a little bit more shooting would be good. So we are on the first company. Halter half tracks are specialist. Okay, they are not support. Let's add one of these units. We are still in a valid army list concept. This is good. And also let's add one more Steel Warrior unit. So we have 3 Steel Warrior units now for the first company, the Huskarl, the half tracks, one the Sternhammer battle tanks, the transport for one of our for our Forge Guard, so the transport, and then the Forge Lord with the Torgarim and the Rekier, also with transports, and the Iron Ancestors. And for this we have only 140 points left. But when we take a look here, we can here add another Steel Warrior unit, another Halter half-track unit, but then, okay, here I now see a little bit of a problem. We can here take a look on the urban assault vehicles. These are also a tank, but in this case not for long range shooting, but for close combat support, I would say, with the flamer. We can add here one of these units, and we are now on 1995 points. So I think for the first try we have made here, this list looks not that bad. We have the Huskarl for the first company. We have 3 Steel Warrior units that are on foot, then 1 Forge Guard unit in transport, a Halter half-track unit, a branded urban assault vehicle unit for close support, and the Sternhammer battle tanks for shooting, and the second company with the Forge Lord, the Torgarim and Rekier in the tracker APC half-tracks, and also 1 unit of Iron Ancestors. What we can do now, we have 5 points left, and we can here use battle stratagems, and there are only 1 with quick thinking. Okay, I have here no subscription at the moment, so we don't see the rule for it, but I will save this, and we are now on 2000 points. For our first try to build an army in Epic Warpath here with a points limit of 2000 in this case, I think we are not that bad. The question is now, is this a good list? Can we play with this? I think yes, because we have 2 companies on 2000 points. This is okay, I think, with a little bit of specialization. Here is the Huskal with the Steel Warriors to take up the space on the battlefield and get the objectives for us. Then the Forge Guard as close combat unit with the Forge Hammers and in a transport. What I'm not sure about, can we get the heavy armor in the tracker APCs, but we will check out this later. Though I think yes, well, heavy armor is here also, so this will not limit us for the transport capacity. So I think the Forge Guard will be okay in the tracker APC. Then we have the half tracks with a little bit of shooting support. Then the branded urban odyssey vehicle here with close shooting support with the flamer. Then the Sternheimer battle tank for long range support, and our second company with the Forge Lord with the Forge Hammer, so a better in close combat. No, it's the same, sustained, okay. But what we have here is the better tactical die and also vicious. I think this will be good here for close combat. Then the Doggerim as close combat unit in transports, and the Recce unit also in transport. So we can bring both of the units forward, but I'm not sure what we will do here with the Forge Lord, because he has no transport in this case. But maybe we can bring the Tracker APC for the Forge Lord, and the Recce units will sit on our home objective marker. And then Iron Ancestors walk also forward and can support the close combat units with their 18-inch shooting support, and then also with their Forge Hammer in close combat. So what do you guys think about this first try to build an army list here for the Forge Fathers in Epic Warpath? I think the list is okayish. I will build them. They are built already, but I will now start to painting more of them and will field this list to try them out. What do guys think about the list, and have you already played around with some other army lists, or maybe played something similar to this? But what I can see here, what is very hard, and what I think is maybe very hard, is to build 1000 and 1500 point lists. So I think we will in another video check out what we can do in these smaller point ranges, because when we start out, we here with a completely new game, it is maybe more from interest to get a playable valid army list with 1000 points, as it was my plan before, and not to start out here with this big 2000 points. But this will be a topic for a later video.